Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been about a year ago that I posted a review on this Wuben X1 and Wuben X3, and I absolutely love the uniqueness of these lights, and the performance is really good and they're very affordable. So Wuben recently released the X2 Pro, and they reached out to me and asked if I would like to take a look at it. Well, as you can tell just from looking at the outside of the box, the X2 Pro definitely has a unique kind of quirky design, which I absolutely love. You know, it doesn't look like anything else that's out there. So stick around in this video if you want to learn more about it. We'll do a quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over like the user interface. I'll give you guys some beam shots and then give you my thoughts on it. Quickly show you around the box. As you can see, this has a 1500 lumen max output. This is the RGB version. I believe they also have an ultraviolet version. Looks like we have a 5-year warranty. And then a little bit of information there. All right, we'll slide everything out. See what all comes with this. Again, even their boxes are very unique. I thought this stuff was right there. You have to open this again. So it looks like we have just a card there up on top. And then all the goodies are here. So we're going to have the flashlight itself. Looks like they must have different colors because it showed black there. And I believe that's like a gray or a white. I'll get that out in a minute. That appears to be maybe like another switch or something. I'll have to look at that in a bit. We have a A to C charger. Looks like a wrist lanyard is adjustable. I'm really not sure what some of this stuff is. I'll have to look at everything. Yeah, different switches that you can put on here. Have to check that out. And then a really nice manual. And this was in that other little baggie. I'm not 100% sure what it is just yet, but I'll let you guys know in a bit. So that extra little clip was a helmet mounting clamp. As usual, I will quickly show you guys this manual just in case you purchase this light and then lose your manual. You can always come back to this video in the future. I'll try to make this simple for you whenever we go over the operation. It looks kind of confusing here, but shouldn't be too bad. I think just another page or two of this manual. All right, let's take a look at this X2 Pro here. This is a little warning saying that we got to remove the battery insulation film. I just want to check the light out here first. Yeah, it's kind of a unique color. It's like a, it's not a white, it's not really a gray, it's kind of like an in-between, but then like all the black accents around it. I love this color. Got a nice, real sturdy, real stout pocket clip on it here. Just kind of looking everything over. So we obviously have some main LEDs up here. There's multiples up here. Then we have LEDs here. So before we get into all the details of the light, let's make sure there are batteries in it. So it looks like we have a lock and an unlock. So we'll slide that down to the unlock position. We should be able to push on this and that springs that open. There's that film that they said to remove. And yeah, it looks like we have 2 batteries in here. These are Wuben branded 14500s. They're 3.7 volts, 920 milliamp hours. Batteries are going to drop back in there. Positive in first. And then this just kind of snaps back in. And then we can put it in the lock position. That way when we push on this, it won't spring open. Grab you guys some dimensions here. We're looking at a length of about 3.6 inches. I'm going to try to go right there by that dial. A width of 1.5 inches. and like a thickness of around 0.8. Add a little bit for that pocket clip. And we're looking at an overall weight with the two batteries of 4.7 ounces. Just like the X1 and the X3, this X2 Pro seems to be constructed really, really well, like a tank. It's some type of aluminum. I couldn't find exactly what kind. I don't know if it's 6061, but pretty much everything is metal on it, except for our USB-C cover right there. That is some type of rubber. I know that it has an IP68 water resistance rating and a 1 meter drop rating. All right, let's go over this user interface. Again, I know this looks very complicated, but it really isn't. We have a side switch here. We have a lockout in the bottom position. This spot right here is for the little like side light, and then this up here is for the main LEDs. So if you want to use the main LEDs, you just slide the switch up to there. This dial right here is our main switch, and basically you just press it to turn the light on, you press it to turn the light off. It's kind of pretty much that simple. If you want to switch between other stuff, you just hold, and so we have like a low, a medium, and a high, and it just kind of cycles back and forth between low, medium, high. You want to shut it off, you push the button. It has mode memory, so it'll come back on in that highest mode. There's all of your outputs and run times. We basically have between 15 lumens on low, all the way up to 1500 lumens on the turbo. You get to that turbo by having the light on and then double pressing. And that's the full 1500 lumens. So where this light is somewhat unique is that in all of those settings, the low, medium, and high, so let me turn it back on and I'll start in the low. You can basically like fine tune this to go between like spot and flood just by moving this dial. You can see now how all of a sudden, see how I'm switching between this? See how it's getting to be more of a flood now? And then when it flashes, it kind of shows you where you're at. But you can just basically move this around, and you see how the other LED just switched right there? But yeah, you can switch this around, and you can do the same thing in medium. I'll switch up here. So I can move this around and basically fine tune how I want either more spill or more throw. And again, we'll go up to the next one. I'll try to show you guys here so maybe you can see how this switches around. See how that other LED just came on right there? I'll take it back off now and switch it back over to it. See that? So it switches between the different LEDs even though you're on like the higher settings. I showed you that chart a couple minutes ago. If you're on the turbo setting, that's only going to last for about a minute, and then it drops down to about 500 lumens, and that will stay on then for like an hour and a half without dropping again. So that's actually pretty decent. And that's kind of it for the main light. The side light actually is like adjustable. I don't know if this will show very well or not, but you can adjust this. They claim up to 20 degrees each direction for like 40 degrees of total travel here. I'll kind of keep it toward the middle for this, but to switch to that, we just go down here, and it's the same thing. We're just going to hit that and turn on that side light. And then from here, we can basically do the same thing. We can ramp this up, and then we can bring it back down to where it's really low. There's also a turbo on the side light. You just have it on and then double press the switch here. And that gives you 400 lumens, and that will run for like 4 hours continuous. I mentioned this version is the RGB version. To get to that, you just have this on and then you just long press here and it switches over. And then from here, you just rotate this dial and it will give you any of the color combinations between red, green, and blue. So you got yellows, oranges, purples. when you're on the RGB, whatever color you're on, so let me go to like a red here. If you just double tap this, it gives you like a beacon in the color that you're in. And so like if you wanted to switch, like let's just say to green, I would have to basically find the green color like right there and then double tap that. You can't do it while it's flashing, it just stays on the color that it's on. And finally, the side switch has one more function. From off, you can double tap and it'll switch between different colors. So like right now I'm on red and blue flashing, and by double tapping again I can switch this to red and green flash, and one more double tap would give me red and yellow flash. And that's really it. If you want to switch back over to the white LED, just hold in on that. So yeah, it's just hold the switch, goes back and forth, whatever you want, you keep on there. Again, you can scroll to make it brighter, scroll to make it dimmer. If you don't want those on, you want the top ones, you just flip that up. It's just really press on. You can cycle through. It's pretty simple, really. I know the pictures look confusing, but you just kind of get where you want, and then you just kind of scroll and get the desired either spot or flood that you want. And again, whenever you shut it off and you turn it back on, it's got mode memory. It goes right back to what you had it at. So I think what we'll do next is get this fully charged up and then do some beam shots with it. All right, try to give you guys an idea of what the X2 Pro looks like here in the dark. I'm gonna do the side light first. It's on kind of like the lower setting. I'm gonna spin the wheel, kind of get it to its brightest setting here. It'll flash. Again, that lights up a room really well. Go back down through. And now for the main light. This is the lowest setting, and again, even on the lowest, you can spin the wheel and kind of go through between the spot and then back to the flood. And then we'll go up to the medium. Same thing here, spinning the wheel. You can see how that changes to a spot now. We'll go up to the high and spinning the wheel. See how it's much more concentrated. And finally we'll go to turbo here. See, that's very bright. Give you guys a couple outside examples here. I'm probably 40 feet or so away from this tree. I'm just gonna go straight to the turbo on here. So I gotta turn it on first and then the turbo. And as you can see, that 1500 lumens really lights up that tree well. All right, here's another example. I'm probably 75 feet away from this corner. Again, we'll turn on the low and then go up into the turbo. And one more example, we'll go up into this tree here. There's obviously a light on. But I think that this little Wuben can overpower that light and really shine pretty well up here. Very impressive little light. So hopefully seeing those nighttime shots was somewhat beneficial for you. I was really impressed with the performance of this. To be able to go from 15 lumens all the way up to 1500 lumens with that main light, and then down to 10 lumens to 400 with the side light, just with that little wheel, it's very impressive. There are a few other things I wanted to talk about. First is that this actually does have a very strong magnet, able to support itself in any position. So imagine if this is the hood of your car, you could attach it there and be working on something on the engine. Or if this were the side of your car, you can put it on here if you have a flat tire, and then use the side light here to help, get that tire changed out. You could also attach to the side of your car if you're, broke down or something like that, just to kind of signal other motorists. Wanted to show you guys what this looks like in a pocket. You do have a little bit that sticks up there, but not much. When it comes down that far into the pocket. And if you don't like it there, you always can carry it on your belt. Still a few more things to discuss with you guys. I'm going to unlock this, pop this open, and we're going to take one of the batteries out and show you that this still works perfectly fine with just one battery in it. And I think it's the same brightness even. You just don't get the same run times, but it looks to be just as bright. These batteries are 3.7 volts, but when they're in there side by side, it's still just 3.7 volts. If a flashlight stacks batteries in there like end to end like this, that doubles the voltage. Something else that's interesting is you can take just a normal AA battery, nothing special about that at all, and drop them in there, and these are only 1.5 volts, and the light will still work perfectly fine. Now this I don't think is as bright, but it still works with AA batteries. And another thing that's interesting is you can actually remove one of those batteries too, and it will still work. You can still go through all your different spots and floods, and so yeah, very cool. I want to also show you guys this tactical tail switch. So to install it, you just kind of pop the battery door here. You can see there's some grooves up top, and then there's a couple little pins, and then there's some corresponding pins there. You basically just kind of line this up and then push this over, and then you just push everything back down. And with this switch, you can have a momentary now or a constant on. So again, I'll do momentary or constant. Couple things to let you know about on this tail switch. First thing is, whatever mode you had turned the flashlight off the last time, so let me turn it on here and we'll cycle through. So that's high, that's low. Let's say I shut the light off on low, and then I installed this tail switch. When I turn this on, it's going to be on that low. And then the second thing is, there's no way to adjust what brightness level you're on after you've used the tail switch. So like again, I'm in low. I can't do anything basically with this wheel now. If I hold it in, it doesn't go to the next brightness levels or anything like that. It's really just an on-off with this tail switch. So if you want it to be like bright, you have to turn that on, go up to the bright one, turn it off, and then the next time you use the tail switch, it'll be on the brightest level. They also include this little clip to be able to mount it to a helmet. Unfortunately, I don't have a helmet to show you, but here's a couple pictures of what it would look like. And to install that's pretty easy. You can see there's like this line. Well, that will follow like the shape of that. So you just kind of line this stuff up. You slide that side on. You slide the other side on. And then there's a screw that basically will hold all this stuff together. That's in that little bag right there. And then this would slide onto your helmet. And there's another picture of a different company's helmet light, but you can get a good idea from that. So I've had this X2 Pro for a few weeks now, and I've been using it daily for, a variety of things. I really like it. As far as like the overall looks and the design, like it is beefy. It's built like a tank. There's nothing that really looks like it. It's kind of quirky. It's kind of like futuristic, but yeah, I really like it. You're kind of getting multiple flashlights in one, between having the spotlight and the flood. And I'm not going to say it's the greatest spotlight or the greatest floodlight, but it is nice having both options on one flashlight. Having that little side light has actually been really useful for me, and then being able to like swivel or tilt that has been very beneficial as well. I actually kind of wish that the main light actually swiveled too. I really like the stepless dimming using the wheel. Just turn it on and you can stop at whatever brightness or whatever amount of spot that you want or whatever amount of flood that you want. Nice feature. I like that it can use the lithium ion 3.7 volt batteries or just, again, standard AA's. It can use 1 or 2. And I like the fact that you can actually remove those batteries. Even though it is fast onboard charging, it's nice if you have your own external chargers and you want to charge them that way or use other lithium ion batteries or whatever. But it's nice that you can actually remove them. So many flashlights are going to like internal batteries that aren't replaceable or anything. So definitely a nice feature. As far as pricing goes, my white version is available at WubenLight.com, and they are coming in at $46 there. And they do offer free shipping with $59 or more spent. They're also available on Amazon. Again, my same version, white, with the RGB for $52, and that's with free shipping. And I will leave links to both of those places down in the video description. And if they offer me any type of discount codes, I'll put them down there as well. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.